can't believe it. After being that guy who had always preferred his Skeletor with a demon origin all my life, there is now a show that made me actually fall in love with Keldor. What the Welcome to the official YouTube channel of Eternia.com. I'm your host AJ, and today I'm doing a spoiler discussion of Masters of the Universe Revolution. Now, it's streaming on Netflix as we speak, and maybe you've seen it yet, and maybe you haven't, but this video is going to be full of spoilers. So you have been warned. This is not going to be a review video, so to speak. I have already a non-spoiler review video posted on YouTube. I'll make sure I link to it at the end of this video. But this is just going to be a discussion of random aspects of Masters of the Universe Revolution that stuck out, to me personally, that I would like to talk about. So let's start with the big one. William Shatner as Keldor. Up to this point, I've never been a huge fan of Keldor. I didn't hate him, but I never loved him. Ever since the Mike Young 2002 series, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, picked up that ambiguous 1986, 1987 mini-comic plotline and ran with it. A lot of people absolutely loved how this handsome half-brother guard dude named Keldor was disfigured by like a ricocheted, vial of acid that he threw. And then he asked Hordak to save him. And instead, Hordak performed some mean plastic surgery on him. And the finished product was Skeletor. And it's all very cool. And I have nothing but love for everyone who adored it. But it just wasn't my favorite. But enter Masters of the Universe Revolution. Finally, there is a canon to me that successfully merged, the two origins together, It's over Hatfields and McCoys. It's over Democrats and Republicans. It's over people who prefer vanilla ice cream and people who prefer chocolate. I prefer vanilla. To me, Masters of the Universe Revolution finally did the impossible and merged lovers of the Filmation canon and lovers of the 2000X canon, the Demon and the Keldor, together. Mutated by the magic of Havoc and brain-thumped by the work of Hordak, I really love that Skeletor's mind was wiped here, and he wasn't lying in Revelation, and he wasn't lying in the tie-in comics, that he really believed he was an interdimensional demon. Which, if he was lying, it would have been such a cop-out to me. It would have been lazy writing to retcon Skeletor as Keldor that way. Haha, I was lying. So I love that Skeletor was actually convinced he was a demon all this time. It's brilliant. And then thanks to Motherboard, two personalities now live in his head. Keldor and Skeletor. Think about it. Legendary Mark Hamill and William Shatner are in the head of the same character. Luke Skywalker and Captain Kirk. Split personalities. I mean, it's so brilliant. And as we already know, Mark Hamill is brilliant as Skeletor, and he was nominated for an Emmy for Masters of the Universe Revelation. And I don't hear that Joker anymore in his voice. But William Shatner here was equally magnificent as Keldor. And I believe he was like age 90 at the time when he recorded this, somewhere around there. And that is just insane. We should all be so lucky at age 90 to be perfection, right? Because the Shat was perfection here as Keldor. And he hasn't lost a step. What a legend. And that was really prolific casting by Kevin Smith, Ted Biaselli, and Rob David. So now I am all aboard the Keldor train. So now let's talk about Adam's twin sister, She-Ra. She-Ra, She-Ra, da 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 da. She-Ra. Like, I can't even describe how I blew my mind that in the middle of this Masters of the Universe Revolution series, we get this Keldor flashback scene released in Skeletech's mind. thanks to the, epic throwdown by Motherboard. And this flashback scene is a recreation of that same Hordak stealing baby Adora scene that we first saw in the Filmation She-Ra episodes way back in 1985. So watching this, I was reliving 1985. There was total mayhem going on in the royal bedroom, and Skeletor's captured, and Hordak is sneaking out of the window, stealing Adam's twin sister, baby Adora. Now, unlike the old She-Ra cartoon, we don't actually see baby Adora's face. And to be fair, Hordak could be stealing a royal loaf of bread. They probably hid her face due to the rights issues, and everyone who loves She-Ra knows what this is. And then, if it wasn't exciting enough, there's this final pre-credit stinger where Hordak is being resurrected, and there she is, Despara, the alter ego of Adora She-Ra when she first started working for the Evil Horde. Yep, this universe feels like it's being set up just like the Filmation cartoon, where baby Adora was raised and brainwashed by Shadow Weaver and Hordak. And she grows, when she grows up, she fights for the Evil Horde as the Force Captain, otherwise named as Despara in later canons. Now, from everything I understand, from all the information I could dig up, Mattel Television and Netflix did not have television rights to the show She-Ra or the She-Ra characters in Masters of the Universe Revolution. That's why we didn't see baby Adora's face. That's why we didn't see female Horde villains like Shadow Weaver and Catra. We only saw Mantenna, Grizzlor, and Leech, which were actually Masters of the Universe toys, not She-Ra toys, and that's why we can see them. And that's why it cut away from Despara when she took off her mask in Masters of the Universe Revolution, because they couldn't show us She-Ra's face, because DreamWorks currently has the television rights to She-Ra, not Mattel. But hopefully, when Masters of the Universe Revolution is deemed a success, keep watching that show, everyone, they will make this third part of the trilogy, Masters of the Universe Redemption, Masters of the Universe Reunion. Either way, whatever it's called, they will have to do a deal with DreamWorks to feature She-Ra in their show. Otherwise, it's going to be the most cruelest, downright hurtful, unfulfilled tease to fans in animated history. Now, I'm hoping that the people at Netflix and the people at Mattel Television already know DreamWorks will play ball in the third and final entry of this trilogy, this Netflix Masters of the Universe trilogy, and they didn't paint themselves in a corner on a whim and on a prayer, that they know they can make this happen if the show is successful enough. We shall see. But it's time to unite the twins. So now let's talk Tila, the Tri-Sorceress. I was so excited in Revolution that they continued, the religious themes that was first presented in Revelation during the scene where Darklyn in her vision saw the death of God. That's when she saw all three religious deities, if you remember, Zor the Falcon, Ka the Snake, and then Havoc the Ram, all kill themselves. And now in Masters of the Universe Revolution, Sorceress Tila has to harness all three ways, all three religions to restore Eternia. And what Tila becomes with the help of Adam calling down on the power. Wow, did you see that look? With the blue lion central tower from Eternia, on her headdress. We're going to get an action figure of that. And we have to be, right? I like Ka the Sorceress. I like that look. And I like Havoc Sorceress. That's cool too. I want those figures, but show me the line for the Tri-Sorceress figure, and I'm going to stand in it right now. Now, how about Stondar? I can't believe we saw this vintage Motu toy, Stondar, captured, and he was surrounded with no hope in front of Hordak and all of his, Horde troopers. And, Hordak's talking, on every planet there has always been the hero, the one, the champion. And Stondar goes down like a champ. I mean, when Leech kills him, and Leech definitely kills him because you see Stondar later up in Eternia. It's such an awesome scene. And I like that it's revealed here that Stondar's, rock people are from a different world. I think it's been that way in previous canons. And it's a world that Hordak, has already conquered, not Eternia. And I just loved it. Let's talk about the awesome Evil-Lyn and how hilarious she was here, like when she called Tila a simpleton. Oh, it's nicer. Or when He-Man and Tila, finally do that kiss, after 40 years, we finally get the kiss. And then Lyn, caps it off with He-Man and Tila sitting in a tree. Kissing. It was hilarious how she slowed that down at the end. And Lena Headey is just so awesome. Her line also to use to rile Tila up, was very meta, You're nothing but a bait and switch. And I love when a dying Grandemir tells Lyn that, her good deeds have finally made her good Lyn. Instead of evil Lyn, now we have good Lyn. Perfection, right? I wonder if they'll actually label an action figure that way. Good Lyn, I hope so. Oh, and Zodak! We finally see Zodak and Lyn. She's invited to join among the Cosmic Enforcers. And she got this blue helmet and everything. And wow, what an arc for Evil-Lyn. Damn, that just gives me the chills. So what else did I love? I loved Battle Armor He-Man, and when his chest plate armor barrel rolls up, just like the vintage toy, to a fully healed chest plate. Oh, how cool was that? And then I love the training flashback, where Adam is holding Tila romantically. Well, they weren't kissing yet, but and then they brush it off, telling Orko, it's just training. And then when Adam and Tila are doing it again, Orko says they're training. I just love that. So amazing. Oh, and I love the puns and the quips, especially from He-Man and Skeletor. Takes me back to the classic Filmation series, He-Man and Masters of the Universe, where he's like, well, I'll be a monkey's uncle. Or He-Man saying, I like my uncles once removed. It's so bad, which makes it so good. I love in this story, too, where Hordak fears the power of Grayskull and belittles magic because he fears magic, Hordak can't understand magic. And that's why Hordak needs an acolyte to wield magic on his behalf. And it's amazing. Dissolving the monarchy is interesting. I like King He-Man like the next person, but doing that, dissolving the monarchy for this story, I think is very fitting for this story, for this trilogy, especially after seeing what one bad king can do, i.e. Keldor, right? And then Snout Spout. How about good old Snout Spout? He's spraying water from his trunk at that giant techno titan, and it's doing absolutely nothing. The water's just hitting it and bouncing off. But he's trying, isn't he? He's trying. You keep trying, Snout Spout. You keep it up, baby. I absolutely loved it. So what did you think of Masters of the Universe Revolution? Sound off in the comments below. And be sure to visit the community at foreternia.com, your hub for discussion, news, and content that helps you stay up to date with everything Masters of the Universe. Well, that's it. I would like to thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye, all.